Imagine waking up to a notification, not a price alert, not a liquidation email, a notification that the Bitcoin blockchain has stopped. For 10 minutes, nothing moves. Then a single block is mined. But this block doesn't contain normal transactions. It contains thousands of movements from wallets that haven't been touched in 15 years. The Satoshi wallets are moving. The lost coins are moving. In minutes, the order books on Binance and Coinbase are flooded with millions of Bitcoin. The price doesn't just dip, it gaps down. 30,000, 10,000, 0. The narrative of digital gold evaporates instantly, replaced by the terrifying realization that the mathematics securing the entire network has been broken. This is the quantum apocalypse. My name is Secretoshi, and this story isn't what you think it is. It is the single most terrifying tail risk for crypto investors. And while most of you are staring at 15-minute charts trying to predict the next candle, the smart money is quietly hiring physicists to calculate exactly when this day will arrive. Is it science fiction? Or is it an inevitability that is already priced in by the elites? Today, we are going to strip away the panic porn and look at the cold, hard engineering reality of a quantum attack on Bitcoin. Because if you understand how this technology works, you'll realize that the threat isn't what you think it is. The real danger isn't that Bitcoin dies. The real danger is what we have to do to save it. Now, to understand why a quantum computer is a threat, we have to look under the hood of the wallet in your pocket. When you create a Bitcoin wallet, you aren't just downloading an app. You are generating a cryptographic pair, a private key and a public key. Think of it like a mailbox. The public key is the slot on the street where anyone can drop a letter. The private key is the metal key you keep in your pocket to open the box and take the letters out. In the world of mathematics, this relationship is based on something called elliptic curve cryptography, specifically the CCP56K1 curve. Here is the insider simplification. It is incredibly easy to take a private key and generate a public key. It's basic multiplication. But to go backwards, to take the public key and derive the private key, it is mathematically impossible for a classical computer. If you took all the supercomputers on Earth, every server at Google, Amazon, and the NSA, and linked them together to crack one Bitcoin private key, the sun would burn out and destroy the solar system before they found the answer. That is how secure your money is. Currently, enter the quantum computer. Classical computers think in bits, ones and zeros, on or off. A quantum computer thinks in qubits. Thanks to a property called superposition, a qubit can be a 1 and a 0 at the same time. This allows them to perform calculations not sequentially but simultaneously. And there is a specific algorithm discovered by a mathematician named Peter Shor in 1994 that is designed to do exactly one thing: find the prime factors of large integers. In plain English, Shor's algorithm is a skeleton key. If a quantum computer is powerful enough to run Shor's algorithm, it doesn't need billions of years to guess your private key. It can do it in hours, maybe minutes. If that happens, every signature on the network is forgeable. Ownership becomes a myth. The ledger becomes worthless. But if you think the NSA is going to use this tech to steal your 0.5 Bitcoin, you are looking in the wrong direction. The real danger is much closer to home, and it involves a vulnerability that was baked into Bitcoin from the very first block. The flaw isn't in the code, it's in the history. You see, not all Bitcoin addresses are created equal. Today, when you send Bitcoin, you are likely using a modern address format. When you use these modern formats, your public key is not actually revealed to the network until after you spend the coins. Until you sign a transact, the network only sees a hash of your key. A hash is quantum resistant. Even a quantum computer cannot reverse a hash effectively. So if you are simply holding Bitcoin in a modern wallet and never sending it, your public key is hidden. You are safe. The quantum computer can't crack what it can't see. However, in the early days of Bitcoin, 2009, 2010, the software used a different standard called pay-to-public key, PPK. In these transactions, the public key was exposed directly on the blockchain. And who holds the vast majority of these exposed vulnerable coins? Satoshi Nakamoto. The famous Satoshi stash, roughly 1 million Bitcoin, sits in these old exposed addresses. They are sitting ducks. If a quantum computer comes online, the first thing it will do isn't hacking the exchange, it's sweeping the Satoshi wallets. That's nearly 5% of the total supply, instantly compromised. Imagine the market panic. It wouldn't matter if your wallet was safe. If the Satoshi coins move, the confidence in the system collapses. The price goes to zero not because the tech failed everywhere, but because the market psychology failed instantly. This is the storage attack, and it is the sword of Damocles hanging over the industry. However, simply having a quantum computer isn't enough. There's a specific technological hurdle that even Google and IBM haven't cleared yet, and it is the only thing buying us time. We need to talk about noise. You will often see headlines like IBM unveils 1000 qubit processor, and you might panic, thinking we are close to the end. Ignore those headlines. They are marketing fluff for retail investors. There is a massive difference between a physical qubit and a logical qubit. Quantum states are incredibly fragile. A stray photon, a change in temperature by a fraction of a degree, or even a cosmic ray can cause a qubit to decohere or lose its information. This is called noise. To run Shor's algorithm effectively, you need stable, error-corrected qubits. These are called logical qubits. To create just one stable logical qubit, you need thousands of physical qubits working together to correct each other's errors. Current estimates suggest that to crack Bitcoin's encryption, the CP256K1 curve, you would need about 2,500 logical qubits. But because of the error correction needed, those 2,500 logical qubits might require millions of physical qubits. Where are we today? We are struggling to get a few hundred noisy physical qubits to work together. We are in the vacuum tube era of quantum computing. We haven't even invented the transistor yet. Most serious cryptographers and physicists estimate we are at least 10 to 30 years away from a quantum computer capable of breaking Bitcoin. So, why the panic? Because in the world of high finance, a 10-year horizon is tomorrow. Smart money doesn't wait for the event. They hedge the risk before the event is even visible. But let's assume the worst. Let's assume a rogue state or a massive tech conglomerate builds the machine in secret. Let's assume they turn it on tomorrow. Is Bitcoin dead? Not exactly. There is a nuclear option buried in the code, but deploying it would be the messiest political event in financial history. Bitcoin is software. It can be upgraded. The moment the threat becomes real, the Bitcoin developers can propose a soft fork. This update would implement quantum-resistant encryption schemes, algorithms like Lamport signatures or lattice-based cryptography that even quantum computers can't break. This sounds simple, right? Just patch the code. Here's the problem, the upgrade dilemma. If we upgrade the network to use new secure addresses, everyone will have to move their Bitcoin from their old wallets to the new quantum-safe wallets. But what about the lost coins? What about Satoshi's coins? Remember, Satoshi hasn't been seen since 2011. He or she or they cannot mem and move those coins to the new format. This creates a terrifying schism. If we upgrade the network, we essentially have to burn the old vulnerable addresses to prevent the quantum attacker from stealing them. We would have to say, if you don't move your coins to the new format by date X, they are invalid. This means the 1 million Satoshi coins and the estimated 3 to 4 million lost Bitcoin would be deleted from the supply. On one hand, this would make the remaining Bitcoin incredibly scarce. The supply would drop from 21 million to maybe 15 million. Price goes up, right? On the other hand, it violates the core ethos of Bitcoin. Code is law. If the developers can decide to burn Satoshi's coins to save the network, is Bitcoin really censorship resistant? We would likely see a massive civil war, a chain split. Chain A, quantum Bitcoin, where the old coins are burned and the network is secure. Chain B, classic Bitcoin, where the old coins are left alone and eventually looted by the entity with the quantum computer. The market would have to decide which one is the real Bitcoin. And if history tells us anything, remember Bitcoin Cash, the market hates uncertainty. So where does that leave you? If you are holding for the next cycle, you can ignore this. This is not a 2025 problem. This is a 2035 problem. But if you are building generational wealth, if you plan to pass your private keys down to your grandchildren, then you need to understand that Bitcoin is not a static rock. It is a living organism. It will be attacked. It will have to evolve. The quantum threat is real, but it is not an asteroid hitting the Earth. It is a slow rising tide. We can see the water rising. We have time to build the boat. The real risk isn't the machine. The real risk is human coordination. Can we agree on the upgrade before the attacker arrives? If we can, Bitcoin becomes the most secure monetary network in the universe, hardened against the most advanced physics we know. If we can't, well, I hope you have some gold bars buried in the backyard. The smart money isn't selling Bitcoin because of quantum. They are watching the development of post-quantum cryptography, PQC. When the upgrade comes, that will be the signal that Bitcoin has reached its final form. Until then, keep your keys offline, don't reuse addresses, and stay rational. Hit subscribe so you don't become the liquidity. I'll see you on the inside.